They say pride comes before the fall, but I never believed it until I found myself staring at a tiny Thai woman who would completely destroy everything I thought I knew about myself. You see, there are two types of men who go to Thailand. The ones who fall hard and fast, and the ones who think they're too smart to fall at all. I was definitely the second type, until I wasn't. If you're enjoying these real Thailand stories, smash that like button and drop a comment letting me know what country you're watching from. Now let me tell you about the week that changed my entire life. I used to laugh at guys who fell for bar girls in Thailand. Seriously, I'd sit there shaking my head thinking, how stupid can you be? I was the guy with all the rules, all the boundaries. I was bulletproof. This was my 8th trip to Phuket over 6 years. Yeah, I know that sounds crazy, but once Thailand gets in your blood, you're hooked. The beaches, the freedom, the nightlife, it's like nowhere else on earth. I had seen it all before. Businessmen from Japan crying over girls who disappeared with their money. German tourists planning weddings with women they'd known for 3 days. Australian guys borrowing money from friends to extend their trips for love. But here's the thing that made me different from all those other guys. I had a system. Rule number 1. Never spend more than 3 nights with the same girl. Rule number 2. Never take them anywhere romantic like the islands. Rule number 3. Keep it simple. Keep it fun. Keep it short. Rule number 4. Never, ever give them your real phone number or social media. I looked at myself as a realist. Maybe even a cynic. There was no way I'd ever catch feelings for someone I met in a bar. I was too smart for that, too experienced. I had been coming to Thailand for years, and I understood exactly how the game worked. My friends back home used to ask me, "Don't you ever want something real?" But I'd just laugh. Real was overrated. Real was messy. Real was expensive. What I had in Thailand was perfect. No strings attached, no complications, no broken hearts. Famous last words, right? I remember telling my buddy Jake before this particular trip, "Watch me, man, I'm going to show you how it's done. No drama, no feelings, just pure fun." I was so confident, so sure of myself. I even made a bet with him that I wouldn't spend more than 2 nights with any girl during the entire 2-week trip. That confidence was about to get completely shattered. It was a Tuesday night in Patong when my world turned upside down. My buddy, Jake, and I had just landed after a brutal 16-hour flight from London. We were jet-lagged, confused, and desperately needed to find our rhythm again. The humidity hit us like a wall as we stepped out of the airport. That familiar smell of Thailand, street food, incense, and tropical flowers filled our lungs. Phuket felt different this time. Maybe it was because I hadn't been there in almost 2 years, or maybe the place was just changing. The crowds seemed bigger, the prices higher, but that magic was still there. That electric feeling that anything could happen. We grabbed a taxi to our hotel in Patong Beach. The driver was playing loud Thai pop music, and Jake was already complaining about the heat. But I was smiling. This was my element. This was where I came alive. After checking in and taking quick showers, we headed straight to our usual spot on Bangla Road. The neon lights were blazing, music was pumping from every direction, and the Ibu energy was absolutely electric. Girls in short dresses were calling out to tourists. Motorcycles were weaving through the crowds, and the whole street felt like a carnival. This was our comfort zone, the place where we could just be ourselves. No judgments, no expectations. We started at our favorite beer bar. Nothing fancy, just cold Chang beer and a good view of the street action. I was sitting there nursing my 3rd beer and trying to wake up properly from the jet lag when she appeared. Maya. She was tiny, maybe 5 feet tall, with these huge brown eyes that seemed to see right through you. Long black hair that caught the neon lights, a smile that could power the entire street, and this confidence that was absolutely magnetic. She didn't just walk up to me like the other girls usually did. She waited. She caught my eye from across the bar, smiled, and then went back to talking with her friends. She was playing a completely different game. After about 20 minutes of this back and forth eye contact, she finally approached. She walked up to me like she owned the place, grabbed my hand without asking, and said in perfect English, "You look lonely, handsome. Let me fix that." The confidence in her voice stopped me cold. Before I knew it, she was sitting next to me, ordering drinks and making me laugh harder than I had in months. She was quick, funny, and had this energy that was absolutely infectious. She told jokes that actually made sense, asked questions about my life that seemed genuine, and had opinions about everything from politics to movies. We talked for hours, about everything and nothing. She told me about growing up in a small village, north of Bangkok, about her dreams of opening a restaurant someday, about how she ended up in Phuket working in the bars. She didn't give me the usual sob story. She was matter-of-fact about her choices. I told her about my boring office job back home, my failed marriage 3 years ago, my addiction to Thai holidays. Usually, I kept these conversations surface level, but something about her made me want to be honest. "Why you come Thailand so many times?" she asked, genuinely curious. "Because back home I feel dead inside," I admitted. "Here I feel alive." She nodded like she understood completely. "Same for me. This job, it's not easy, but it makes me feel powerful, like I have control over my life." And for the first time in years, I felt like I was talking to someone who really got it. Jake kept giving me warning looks from across the bar, but I ignored him. This wasn't like the other times. Maya wasn't like the other girls. She had depth, intelligence, a spark that I hadn't encountered before. As the night went on, the crowd got louder and the music got more intense, but we were in our own little bubble. She told me about her favorite books, her opinions on Western movies, her plans for the future. I found myself hanging on every word. By closing time, I knew I was in trouble. The next morning, I woke up with Maya sleeping peacefully beside me in my hotel room. My first thought was panic. This wasn't supposed to happen. I had rules. I had boundaries. I was supposed to be the guy who never got attached. I was supposed to be different from all those other idiots who fell for the first pretty face they met. But then she opened her eyes, looked at me with that incredible smile, and said, "Good morning, my handsome man. You hungry? I know perfect place for breakfast. Game over." I tried to maintain some distance, some control over the situation. "Look, Maya, last night was great, but I'm not looking for anything serious here. I'm just on vacation." She laughed, not in a mean way, but like she found my nervousness adorable. "Relax, David. I'm not asking you to marry me. I just want to show you the real Phuket, the places tourists never see." That's how she got me. She didn't push for commitment or declarations of love. She just offered adventure. We spent the entire day exploring parts of Phuket I'd never seen in 8 previous trips. She took me to a local market, where she taught me how to bargain in Thai, pointing out the best fruits and explaining the differences between various types of chili peppers. "This one," she said, holding up a small green chili, "will make you cry like baby. But this one," she picked up a red one, "will make you strong, like Thai man." We ate at tiny street stalls, where she ordered for both of us, dishes I'd never tried before. Boat noodles with beef that melted in your mouth, mango sticky rice that was better than any dessert I'd had in fancy restaurants, and fresh coconut water straight from the shell. "You eat like tourist before," she said, watching me try some tam for the first time. "Now you eat like local." In the afternoon, we rented a motorbike and rode along the coast. She insisted on driving, which terrified me at first. But then I realized she knew these roads better than any taxi driver. We stopped at hidden beaches where local families were having picnics, viewpoints that weren't on any tourist map, and small temples tucked away in the jungle. "This is my Thailand," she said as we sat on a cliff overlooking the Andaman Sea. "Not the bars, not the tourists. This is where I come when I need to remember who I am." I was starting to understand that Maya was much more complex than I'd initially thought. That evening, instead of hitting the bars like I usually did, we went to a small restaurant she knew where they served the best green curry on the island. The owner, an older Thai woman, greeted Maya like family and kept bringing us extra dishes to try. "She thinks you're my boyfriend," Maya whispered, laughing. "I told her you're special friend from England." "What's the difference?" I asked. "Boyfriend means serious. Special friend means," she paused, searching for the right words, "means we enjoy each other while you're here." The honesty was refreshing and terrifying at the same time. After dinner, we walked along the beach under the stars. The crowds from Bangla Road seemed a million miles away. It was just us, the sound of waves and the warm tropical breeze. "Can I ask you something?" I said. "Of course." Do you do this with all your customers? The sightseeing, the local food, the beaches? She stopped walking and looked at me seriously. You think I'm working right now? I don't know. I mean, technically, yes. She shook her head. David, when I'm working, I smile pretty, I laugh at bad jokes, I drink expensive drinks and watch the clock. When I'm with you, I forget about time, I forget about money, I just want to show you my world. That's when I knew. I was in real trouble. We made love that night, but it was different from the night before. More tender, more connected. She fell asleep in my arms, and I lay there listening to her breathe, trying to figure out what was happening to me. By morning, I had completely abandoned my rules. Maya wasn't working anymore. She was spending all her time with me. I was paying her what she would have made at the bar, plus extra for food, shopping, whatever she wanted. Jake kept warning me every chance he got. Dude, you're becoming one of those guys, he'd say when Maya was in the bathroom. This is exactly what you said you'd never do. It's different, I'd insist. She's different. That's what they all say, man. You're falling for the oldest trick. In the book. But I didn't care. For the first time in my adult life, I felt genuinely happy. I was breaking every rule I'd made for myself, and it felt incredible. I was about to break the biggest rule of all. Take me to Phi Island, Maya said on our fourth morning together, as we lay in bed watching the sunrise through the hotel window. I want to show you the real Thailand. This was it, the moment I crossed the line completely. Taking her to the islands was my biggest rule, the one I'd sworn I'd never break. It was the difference between a casual encounter and something that could get serious, something that could get expensive, something that could break my heart. I don't know, Maya, that's kind of a big step. She turned to face me, those beautiful brown eyes looking directly into mine. You scared of me, David? Maybe a little, I admitted. Good, she said, kissing me softly. Scared means it matters. And just like that, my last defense crumbled. 3 hours later, we were on a speedboat heading to Phi Islands, the wind whipping through our hair, and Maya laughing like a child as the boat bounced over the waves. I had spent more money in eating one morning than I usually spent in an entire week, but watching her joy made every penny worth it. You ever been to Phi before? I asked her, as the famous limestone cliffs came into view. Once, when I was a little girl with my family. Before my father died, before everything changed. Her expression grew serious for a moment, then brightened again. But never like this, never with someone special. The word special hit me right in the chest. We checked into a small resort overlooking Maya Bay, nothing too fancy, but it had a private balcony, with an incredible view of the crystal clear water and white sand beaches. Maya ran straight to the balcony and started taking pictures with her phone. I want to remember every second of this, she said, then handed me her phone. Take picture of me, I want to send to my family. As I watched her pose against the backdrop of paradise, smiling like she'd won the lottery, I realized something important. This wasn't just a vacation for her. This was a dream come true. The kind of luxury she probably thought she'd never experience. Next 3 days were pure magic. Every morning we'd wake up to crystal clear water and white sand beaches visible from our bed. We'd order room service, fresh tropical fruit, strong Thai coffee and pastries that melted in your mouth, and eat on the balcony while planning our day. We spent our days snorkeling in hidden lagoons where the water was so clear you could see tropical fish swimming 30 feet below. Maya was like a mermaid in the water, diving down to point out colorful coral formations and exotic sea creatures I'd only seen in documentaries. You swim like foreigner, she teased, watching me, struggled to keep up with her. All arms, no grace. Not everyone grew up on an island, I shot back, which made her laugh. I grew up in rice fields, stupid. I learned swimming in hotel pool when I started working in Phuket. We explored hidden caves accessible only by kayak, where the limestone walls were covered in ancient formations and the water glowed an ethereal blue-green. Maya would whisper made-up stories about the caves being home to magical spirits, her voice echoing off the walls. At Maya Bay itself, we arrived early in the morning before the tourist boats came, and for about an hour, we had the famous beach almost entirely to ourselves. Maya ran into the water fully clothed, her sundress floating around her like a flower, and called for me to join her. "Come on, David. When will you have chance like this again?" She was right. I threw my shirt aside and ran into the warm, crystal clear, water, clothes and all. We kissed surrounded by the limestone cliffs made famous by Hollywood movies, and for that moment, it felt like we were the only two people in the world. But it was the small moments that really got me. The way she'd dance, in the rain during a tropical storm, spinning around our balcony with her arms outstretched, completely carefree. How she'd curl up next to me while we watched movies on my laptop, her head on my chest, occasionally translating the Thai subtitles or explaining cultural references I missed. The way she'd hold my hand while we walked along the beach at sunset, not saying anything, just being present in the moment. One evening, as we sat on our balcony watching the stars, she turned to me and said, "I never feel this happy before, David. You make me feel like real person, not just bar girl." My heart completely melted. I started imagining what it would be like to bring her home, to introduce her to my family, to build a real life together. I knew it was crazy. We'd known each other less than a week, but for those 3 days it felt completely possible. "What would you do," I asked her one night, "if you could do anything in the world? If money wasn't a problem," she thought, for a long time before answering. "I would open a small restaurant, not fancy, just good food, honest prices, maybe by the beach somewhere quiet. I would hire other girls like me, give them better choice than bars." "That sounds amazing." "You think so? You're not just saying that?" "I think you could do anything you set your mind to, Maya." She kissed me then, soft and sweet, and whispered, "You make me believe in dreams again." I was completely, hopelessly in love. On our last night in Phi-Phi, we made love on the balcony under the stars, the sound of waves crashing below us. Everything felt perfect, like a romantic movie that was too good to be true, because it was. Back in Phuket, reality started creeping. My money was running low faster than I expected. Between the island trip, the shopping, the restaurants and the bar fines, I had blown through my entire budget in just 1 week. Maya noticed immediately. "You worry about money, baby. Don't stress. I go back to work for a few days, make some money, then we spend time together again." The words hit me like a slap in the face, of course. This was her job, this was how she made money. While I was falling in love, she was working. I watched her get ready for work that night, putting on makeup, choosing the right outfit, transforming back into the bar girl I had first met. It was like watching two different people. "I see you. Tomorrow, okay, baby," she said, kissing me goodbye. "Don't worry, I just make money. You still my special man." But something had changed, and we both knew it. The next few days were torture. I'd sit in my hotel room, checking my phone constantly, waiting for her messages. She'd text me during her breaks, sending heart emojis and telling me she missed me. But I knew she was with other customers, doing exactly what she had done with me. My buddy Jake tried to snap me out of it. "Bro, you need to wake up. You're acting like a crazy person. This is exactly what you said you'd never do." But I couldn't help myself. When she finally had a night off, I practically ran to meet her. She seemed different though, more distant, more tired. The magic was fading. Then came the night that changed everything. I decided to surprise her at the bar. Maybe it was jealousy, maybe it was stupidity, but I wanted to see her world for myself. What I saw destroyed me. Maya was sitting with another customer, an older German man who looked exactly like me. She was laughing at his jokes, touching his arm, giving him the same look she had given me, the exact same performance. When she saw me, her face went white. She quickly excused herself and ran over to me. "David, baby, what you doing here?" Here's just work, you know this," but I couldn't handle it. All those feelings, all those dreams, all those perfect moments, they suddenly felt like lies. We had a huge fight that night. "You think I don't have feelings?" Maya screamed at me. "You think this easy for me? You think I don't care about you?" "I don't know what to think anymore," I shot back. "How can I tell what's real and what's just part of your job?" She started crying. Real tears, not the fake ones I'd seen her use on customers. "You stupid. And you think I spend 1 week with you, take you to my favorite places, tell you about my family if I don't care? You think I tell every customer about my sick mother?" That's when the real truth came out. Maya had been supporting not just herself, but her entire family. Her mother needed expensive medical treatment. Her brother's university fees were due. Her father had died 2 years ago, leaving her as the sole provider. "I like you, David, I like you so much, but I have responsibilities. I have family. I cannot just think about my heart." The weight of her reality crushed me. Here I was, playing vacation boyfriend, while she was fighting to keep her family alive. My romantic fantasy was her economic necessity. My last night in Phuket was nothing like I had imagined. We didn't fight anymore. We didn't make passionate love. We just sat on the beach, talking honestly for the first time since we met. "I never want to hurt you," she said quietly. "But I cannot be girlfriend you want. I have different life, different problems." "I know," I admitted. "I think I knew all along, but I didn't want to accept it." She took my hand. "You good man, David. You make me feel special. But this is my world and you cannot save me from it." The truth was devastating and liberating at the same time. I realized I had been trying to rescue her from a life she had chosen, from responsibilities she had accepted. I had been so focused on my own fantasy that I had ignored her reality. We made love one last time that night, but it was different. It was goodbye, and we both knew it. The flight home was the longest 12 hours of my life. I kept replaying every moment, every conversation, every kiss. Had any of it been real? Did she actually care about me, or was I just another customer who stayed longer than most? The truth was probably somewhere in between. Back home, everything felt grey and lifeless. My apartment was empty. My job was boring. My friends seemed shallow. I couldn't stop thinking about those perfect 3 days on Phi Phi Island. For weeks, I was a zombie. I'd wake up, go to work, come home, and stare at my phone hoping for a message from Maya. Sometimes she'd text me, usually asking how I was, never asking for money. My friends tried to help. "You need to move on, man. It wasn't real. You were just a customer." But that's where they were wrong. 6 months later, I finally understood what had happened to me. It wasn't that Maya had tricked me or manipulated me. It wasn't that I was stupid or naive. It was that I had experienced something real within an artificial situation. The feelings were genuine, even if the circumstances weren't. Maya had shown me a side of myself I had forgotten existed. She had made me feel alive, passionate, and hopeful, in a way I hadn't felt in years. That part was real, but I had also learned that love isn't always enough. Sometimes people have responsibilities, pressures, and realities that are bigger than their feelings. Maya taught me that the heart and the wallet don't always align. She had genuinely cared about me. I believe that now. But she also had a sick mother, a brother in university, and bills to pay. Her feelings for me were real, but they couldn't override her responsibilities. A year later, I went back to Phuket. Not to find Maya, I had learned my lesson, but because Thailand had become part of my soul, and I needed to face that place again, I found her working at the same bar, with the same smile, entertaining the same type of customers. When she saw me, her face lit up with genuine happiness. "David, you come back, I'm so happy to see you." We talked for hours, catching up on everything that had happened. Her mother was doing better. Her brother had graduated. She was saving money to open that restaurant she had dreamed about. She looked genuinely happy. "You know what I learned?" she said as the night wound down. "Sometimes people come into your life to teach you something important. You teach me that I deserve to be treated with respect, that my dreams matter too." I realized then that our relationship had changed both of us. I had learned about love, responsibility, and reality. She had learned about her own worth. We had both grown from the experience. As I write this story, I'm back home, but I'm different now. I'm not the cynical guy who thought he was bulletproof. I'm not the romantic fool who believed in fairy tales. I'm somewhere in between, wiser, more compassionate, more human. The truth about Thai bar girls is complex. Some are scammers. Some are just doing a job. Some are genuinely struggling to survive in a difficult world. And some, like Maya, are real people with real feelings caught in impossible situations. The truth about men like me is equally complex. We're not just tourists or hopeless romantics. We're often lonely, searching for connection, looking for something real in a world that feels increasingly artificial. Sometimes we find it, even in the most unlikely places. Would I do it again? Probably not the same way. I'd be more careful, with my heart, more realistic about the situation, more respectful of the complexities involved. But would I trade that experience? Never. Maya taught me how to feel again, how to be vulnerable, how to open my heart even when it might get broken. She taught me that no man is truly safe from love, and that's exactly as it should be. Maya and I still text occasionally. She's doing well, working toward her dreams, living her life. I'm doing the same, but I'm a different person because of her. Sometimes the most dangerous thing you can do is exactly what you need to do. The question isn't whether you'll fall. The question is whether you'll learn from it when you do, because in the end, the greatest risk isn't getting your heart broken. It's never opening it in the first place. That's my story. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button and tell me in the comments what country you're watching from. Have you ever experienced something like this? Share your story below.